Keto Simple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, friends, and welcome back to another Sunday morning coffee. It's been one of those weeks. You know the weeks, you know the ones I'm talking about. The one that reminds you just how quickly life moves, okay? So just to kind of recap for the week, for those of you who may not have tuned in on Tuesday, on Monday, I had an opportunity to attend a screening of the Healing Humanity documentary, and that was phenomenal. Okay, it's an amazing documentary. It's well done. It's in my opinion, the correct tone to make things happen for our community, to make things happen, to get people noticing, because it's not negative. It's very positive. It's very emotional. It's transparent. It's just well done all the way around, okay? And I have to give a huge thank you to Brett, working with Healing Humanity to get the documentary here in Indianapolis in the first place. And then I have to thank Carrie and Adam and everybody involved for making it and going through everything they went through to get it made. I understand that there was some people were, there was controversy with why is it taking so long. And one thing that I did talk to Carrie about was that very topic, because I think from those of us who were on the outside, when we first start hearing about a project, we hear about a movie, we hear about it at the stage where the trailers come out. And so by the time you see it, maybe you see a teaser trailer, maybe you have like 3 to 6 months max for usually, but by the time you start noticing the press for a movie till it comes out. Well, in this kind of a documentary, we're on the inside, right? Even if we're not involved, we're on the inside. We're in this community. This is what we do here. And so we knew that he was starting a documentary. I'd heard the rumblings of him starting a documentary, but you're following somebody for a year. You're following multiple people for a year or more because you need to see what's going on in their lives. You got to build the story. You got to build that rapport. You have to build that relationship with that person so it will translate on film, right? On a documentary. You want the documentary to be what you need it to be, and it takes a lot of time. So, I mean, even I, at certain points, I'm like, why is this taking so long? But then when you really, truly stop and think about it, you have to film it. And filming it across more than a year. Then you go into post-production, and that's a nightmare. How much it costs to edit and do all the things, because they're not editing it themselves. It's too big. So it's just one of those things. I think it's just so vastly important that we take a second and we try to congratulate them on what they're doing. If you have an opportunity to go and see this somewhere, even a city over from you or whatever, wherever you can go to go and see this documentary, I implore you to do so. Because again, Carrie and Adam and everybody involved have done a huge, huge service for this community. And, it's encouraging to see people dedicating themselves to having bigger conversations, right? I mean, about health and giving people hope. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to is hope. How do you give hope to the hopeless? You have to showcase what the possibilities are, and that change is possible. And just an overall fantastic experience. And I'm grateful that I had a chance to be there and meet some lovely people. And then there's home life. We all have a home life. We're all at home right now, most likely, outside of Andy. She's in Idaho. And, this week, our girl started 2nd grade already. Summer's over. It's August the 2nd, folks. It's already August. Where does the time go? Life moves so fast. Oh, 2nd grade. And honestly, I don't know, again, where has the time gone, right? And I feel like just yesterday she was learning to walk around the house and all these things, and now it's another year. And it's these moments that let us know why what we do is so very valuable, why trying to be healthy matters, why trying to regain our health matters. We don't pursue better health just to see a smaller number on the scale. I mean, that might be the foot in the door, right? That might be kind of what leads us down the path to where we are now, but that's not why we stay, right? And we pursue, what we're doing and what we end up pursuing here is we want more moments, more birthdays, more school years, more family dinners, more memories, more time with with the ones that we love. Isn't that right, Andy? Andy's in Idaho with a new baby and family and spending time with people she's not around very often. And I think it's beautiful. She sent me some photos today, and I couldn't be happier for her and Susan for being out there and all of that. I think Susan's with her. I get my facts mixed up sometimes, so bear with me. And and again, one of the biggest takeaways from this week came from a conversation I had with Carrie again about the screening, and both with Chris Cooking Nashville yesterday during our live stream. It kind of circles back to one simple idea, and that's trust. Because if we think about it, how do we ask someone to trust us when they've spent decades being disappointed by health advice? It's not a simple question. And I don't think we spend enough time talking about that, right? Because if you think about it, if you think about it from, someone else's perspective, many people have spent their entire lives trying to lose weight, trying to find health, trying to find what works. They've tried low-fat diets, grapefruit diets, cabbage soup diets, meal replacements, calorie counting, point system, juice cleanses, detox teas, you name it. Even an egg and wine diet in the 60s. Yes, there was an egg and wine diet that actually showed up in a magazine for women in the 60s. So you have to think about that. You have to think about every few years, another expert promises to finally have figured it all out, and every few years, another book becomes a bestseller. Oprah walks across the stage with a little red wagon full of cut up chunks of beef to showcase how much weight she's lost. And every year, another miracle solution. Be it gastric bypass or GLP-1s, or whatever is being touted as the next big thing. And if you were that person, why would you believe it? And then again, here we come, talking about eating more meat, more eggs, more butter, fewer processed foods, and questioning the advice they've heard for decades from outside, and from the outside looking in, we probably sound just like the latest trend. Like when keto first came around, it was called a fad diet. I don't want to do another fad diet. And rightfully so, understandably so. But people who are doing keto get so upset. People in carnivore get so upset when they hear someone call it a fad diet. We get mad at the person for calling it a fad diet when that person has done nothing but live from fad to fad to fad to fad, and they don't know what to think. Because again, why should they trust us? They have zero reason to trust us. So that's why I think we need to earn their trust, but not by winning arguments. We're not fighting with them. There's no fighting with them. Why are we fighting with them? We need to encourage them. We have to earn their trust by being consistent, by being honest, transparent, vulnerable, admitting when we don't know something, by sharing our own stories without pretending they're anyone else's story. While my story may be uniquely me, there are pieces of it that will resonate with lots of other people. Hopefully somebody who's gone through the same things I have will hear my story, see my obvious successes and my obvious failures, my regression, my gaining weight back. Is that a failure of the lifestyle? Absolutely not. It's a failure of me. Because I'm human. And I think that's where this community has something truly special to offer, right? We aren't selling perfection. We aren't promising that everyone will have the exact same results. What we're offering is hope. A glimmer of hope, a foot in the door. We're offering compassion. We're saying, come as you are. Let's figure out what works for you. There's so many people. We have a Rick in the group. We have a Brian Doyle in the group. We've got Pete. We've got Evelyn. We've got Barb, who's new here. We've got Terry Girl. We've got Evelyn. We've got Cindy. We've got all of these wonderful, amazing people with all their stories to share. And each and every single one of them has a different story, a different way they've reached their goals, where they've reached, or the path that they're going to take to reach those goals, right? Because that's a very different message than telling someone that they had to become a perfect carnivore by next Tuesday. We also have to remember that the questions that people ask aren't always signs of ignorance or bad intentions. Sometimes those questions that seem obvious to us are coming from someone who's genuinely trying to understand. They aren't trolling. They're scared. They're confused. If not a little hopeful, but they're cautious because, again, they've been disappointed time and time again. We have to respond with patience instead of judgment. We have to have a chance to build that trust. Because if we only respond with sarcasm and superiority, we've probably lost them forever. So, this morning, I don't want to talk about convincing people. I want to talk about earning the right to be heard. Trust isn't something we demand. We can't demand someone trust us. I don't think I've ever asked you to trust me. I just show up. And I tell my story over and over and over and over. And I tell the same stories and I tell the same things because that's what I have to give. It's something that we build one conversation at a time, one story at a time, one act of kindness at a time. And if we can do that, I truly believe we can help far more people than we ever could trying to be the loudest voice in the room. So, get your coffee. I've got mine. Say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're from. Hit the like button. Do all the things that YouTube needs to get this out to more people. So let's spend our Sunday morning talking about something that might be even more important than nutrition itself. Okay? Are you with me? Can we do it? The best part of waking up is seeing this ugly face on your TV. You thought I said it was going to be coffee in your cup, but no, it's this bridge troll looking at you. How is everybody doing today? I'm excited. Again, I know we got Evelyn here. Evelyn is here. My beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Evelyn. Good morning. And the equally stunning Sandy is here. Good morning, dear. How are you? Thomas is listening. He's not in the chat. He's just listening. He says, I'm only saying hello to everyone. That's it. That's it, okay? But I will be listening and know that I value everyone. We love you, Thomas. We truly do. Mr. Dish is in the house. Good morning, Brian. How are we doing, my friend? Smoothie. Mr. John is in the house. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What am I even trying to do? So, I had a long day yesterday. Okay? I had a very long day yesterday. Without going into too much detail, because I'm not trying to bring the thing down. So, my stepdad, dad, for all intents and purposes, my dad is in the hospital. He's in his mid-60s. He does not take care of himself. And he's got some blood clots. One like around his knee area and a couple small ones in his lungs. He's in the hospital and he does not want to be there. So he's fighting everything all along the way. So it's very tiring, very difficult. So I had to, I was there with him in the morning yesterday, getting him into there, getting him checked in and all that stuff. And I came home and did the live with Chris because that man drives me up a wall. So I had to come and hang out with Chris for a little while. And then I had to go back. Then I had to go back. And then, I had to make sure that everything was taken care of. And he's got a person in town to help take care of his house because he's neurotic. And so I, took her to get some food, took her back to his place, got her inside and all these things. And just a long day, okay? And I say this, and I went to the grocery store just to kind of cool off a little bit, just to kind of walk around. And I got myself some snacks. I got myself some lunch meat and some cheese. And, trying to be good and on. And I didn't get ice cream. I didn't get chips. I didn't get anything. I got like some lunch meat. And I got some pepperonis. And I got some cheese. Because one of my favorite snacks right now has been, one of my favorite things right now has just been not deep fried, air fried pepperonis. Just load up a basket. I take some parchment paper or some, and I roll it up. And then I put it in the bottom of the air fryer. I just fill the air fryer bottom full of pepperonis and just put it on until they're all sizzly and boiling in their own grease, right? But I digress with that. I just kind of want to say it was a long day. Get home, get things settled. Shannon and I go to bed. I don't know. We hadn't even been in bed maybe an hour and a half, and she wakes me up. I guess our granddaughter come in our room. She'd watched something scary, and she was scared. So, but Shannon sent her back to her room because Shannon has to work this morning. And whenever the girl's in the bed, it doesn't work out for us because Shannon doesn't sleep as well. During the week, no big deal, no problem, no one. But Shannon goes to work. She needs to sleep. Anyway, she wakes me up. And I'm like out of it. I'm like trying to figure out what's going on. And I had started a load of laundry before I went to bed. So then I was like, okay, I'm up. I'm going to go comfort this girl. She's like, go comfort her. Go make sure she's okay. Go tuck her in, kiss her goodnight, you know, tell her we love her and all these things. So she's not upset. Okay. All right. I can do that. But I need my bearings. I'm stand up and I'm like, whew, I just got like, I'm like, that perfect sleep. You're just like, oh my goodness. Anyway. So I go and I take the stuff out of the washing machine. I throw it in the dryer, start the dryer, and I hear what it sounds like that our girl downstairs talking to our boys. Our boys are up playing video games. And it sounds to me like she's down there. And I'm like, okay. So I lean over because like outside of our laundry room, there's like a half wall that you could look through. You could see the stairs to downstairs. And I'm like, hey, come on up upstairs. I didn't hear nothing. Just them playing video games. So I go about halfway down the stairs. I'm like, hey, come on. They're like, she's not down here with us. Do we sound like her? And I'm like, I'm half asleep. And I'm like, I can't explain it to you right now. So when I turn around to go back upstairs and she's standing at the top of the stairs. I'm like, I'm too tired for this stuff, okay? I'm like, all right. So we get her in her room, get her tucked in, and we, you know, give her kisses and hugs and smooches and all the things that a good paw does, right? What a good paw does. And then I'm like, I get back into the room. I'm so tired. Get my face mask back on, plug it in, and I get laid in bed. And Shannon's like, will you rub on me and fall asleep again? I'm like, and I'm like, meh, and I don't even remember. I was just out again. It was just such an interesting thing, right? A little anecdote, just to kind of give you a little insight into the inner workings of what happens to me, okay? And Andy is saying like I said, she's in beautiful Idaho visiting with her son and daughter-in-law and a granddaughter this weekend. It's been interesting and fun and love. Baby snuggles are the absolute best. I want to tell you, baby naps, baby snuggles, they are the best. If don't take my word for it. You don't have to take my word for it, okay, LeVar? All right. There we go. This is Barb. Hello, Barb. Barb says good morning from Washington State, where it is 42:48 a.m. 4:28. Anyway. Oh, my goodness. Everybody say hello to Barb. Barb's great. Oh, my goodness. And Andy says, it is 2 more days and I'm home for 2 weeks. And then her mother's going to have a hip replacement in Colorado. Oh, my goodness. A busy August. Oh, and Isabel is here. Good morning, Isabel. How are you? Yeah, I've got Purple Rain stuck in my head for all intents and purposes. I know I just kind of jutted out there for a second, but hopefully I'm back. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know, because I'm right here, but over here I don't see the. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the chat. Okay. Ruh-roh. I saw that as a license plate yesterday. I saw the license plate. It said Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. Oh, Ruh-roh, Yagi. And I'm gone again. This is rude. Oh, my goodness. Everything on my end looks fine. And I'm back. All right, Angela. And Brenda Foley is here. All right. Fantastic. Oh, I love the technical difficulties. Sean Bradley is in the house. Good morning, my friend. How are you and Shell doing today? So very glad to see you. And Charlie, my good friend Charlie is here. Good morning. Listening while I knock some work out of the way. Yes. Got a chance to see Charlie on Monday. It was good to see him. It's been a while. It's always good to see your friends. It's always good to see your friends. And again, we know Brenda is here. Hello, Brenda. John Gugahan is in the house. Mr. Gugahan, how are you, my friend? So very glad to see you. Oh, my goodness. I saw something on Twitter the other day. See if I can bring that up here. Let me see. It was a very strange study. It was a study that so this is a study here. It's a study that's about serum sodium levels in aging, okay? And I guess one of the important things about this paper is that it's not a sodium intake study. It's a serum sodium study that used blood sodium as a proxy for habitual hydration. And the authors are careful about that distinction, okay? So here are the actual findings in plain English. What they found, researchers followed 11,000 middle-aged adults for about 25 years. So they compared with people whose serum sodium was 137 to 142 millimolars per liter, okay? Deciliter, liter, whatever. Serum sodium levels above 142 millimolars were associated with a 39% higher risk of developing chronic diseases later in life. Serum sodium above 144 was associated with a 21% higher risk of premature death. People with a serum sodium above 142 were also more likely to have biological age older than their chronological age, with the highest sodium groups having up to 50% greater odds of accelerated biological aging. So we get into this, we get deeper into this, okay? So, what diseases were associated? The higher serum sodium was linked with increased risk of several age-related conditions. Now, I'm going to say age-related, okay? Age-related here in quotation marks, because you know where we're going with this. Heart failure, dementia, stroke, chronic lung disease, diabetes, peripheral vascular disease, arterial fibrillation, AFib. AFib for me who can't pronounce things. Okay, I'm just your mild-mannered bridge troll, okay? So what the authors concluded was, their conclusion was not eating more salt causes aging. Instead, it was closer to people with a persistently higher serum sodium level, even within the normal range, may be less well hydrated over the long term. But there's so much about this, so that this state is associated with faster biological aging and greater disease risk. They specifically state that the intervention studies are needed to determine whether improving hydration actually reduces these risks. And important limitations to understand here is where many news articles oversimplified the study. It was observational. It shows an association, not causation. It did not measure sodium intake from food. Serum sodium is influenced by many things besides water intake, including hormones, kidney function, medications, and illness. And I would imagine insulin levels, which we'll get to that in a little bit here. The researchers used serum sodium as a marker for hydration habits, not as a measure of how much salt people ate. We kind of discussed that. But so if someone cites this paper to argue that high dietary sodium accelerates aging, that is not what the study demonstrated. The paper's findings are about higher blood sodium concentrations, which the authors interpret primarily as reflecting chronic suboptimal hydration, not excessive salt consumption. And I was looking here to see if there were insulin levels, or if there were any mention of insulin levels or metabolic health, but there was only in a limited way. The study did not measure aging, chronic disease, or mortality over time, right? So, however, they did adjust for diabetes along with factors like age, sex, race, smoking, BMI, blood pressure, cholesterol, my cholesterol, and my kidney functions and their kidney functions, okay? So in their statistical analysis, that means that the association between higher serum sodium and aging persisted even after accounting for whether some had diabetes. They did not adjust for insulin resistance or hyperinsulinemia specifically because that data was not available. So from a metabolic health perspective, this is an important limitation. Someone with insulin resistance or poorly controlled diabetes can have altered hydration status. Higher serum sodium because of elevated blood glucose increases urine output, which is osmotic dialysis. I know I'm pronouncing that. I'm probably butchering that, and I apologize. The people eating a low-carb or ketogenic diet also tend to excrete more sodium in water due to lower insulin levels, changing fluid balance without necessarily indicating poor health. So without measurements of insulin glucose control beyond diabetes diagnosis or detailed dietary patterns, it's impossible to know how much of the association is related to metabolic health versus hydration itself. Now, what do we know about hydration? We know that the average person thinks that drinking more water equals better hydration. What do we hear all the time? You need to drink like a gallon of water a day. No. I mean, it used to be like, 6 to 8 glasses of water, but they didn't. But what's a glass? How much is a glass? Is it 6 ounces? Is it 8 ounces? 12 ounces? What's a glass? But we were told 6 to 8 ounces. How many minutes do I have to drink from the water hose to get my proper hydration? And even as a kid, I knew like drinking just water didn't quench my thirst. I was still thirsty. I would just drink water. You can feel like your belly getting full of water sloshing around, but you were still thirsty. Raise your hand if you've had that before. You just drink unlimited amounts of water and still be thirsty, right? Now, thirst isn't necessarily an indicator of hydration, but still. So while the authors interpret higher serum sodium primarily as a marker of chronic suboptimal hydration, they cannot rule out metabolic health as a contributing factor. The study wasn't designed to separate those effects. This is one reason why some researchers have been cautious about media headlines claiming that drinking more water slows aging. So the study supports an association, but it doesn't establish whether hydration, metabolic health, or other factors are driving the relationship. I just thought that was interesting because there was a doctor on Twitter who had posted, and I was like, did they say anything about metabolic health? And she just sent me the link to the study, and I was like, well, you're a jerk face. But that's Twitter for you. That's Twitter. That's what happens. That's what happens. Oh, my goodness. I like talking about things, especially to Terry. Terry girl and I have talks. No, we don't. We never talk. She doesn't love me. Do you, Terry? And Rick, Mr. Rick is here. Hello, Rick.
Rick. Let's get dangerous.
Yes, we should. We should get dangerous, Rick. Let's get dangerous. Oh. Can you believe it? Reese is here. Hello, Reese. So very glad to see you, my dear. How are you doing? Yes. Let me go ahead and I will pull up and see if I can find. Let's see if I can find that response. There we go. Because I just want to make sure I put this into the chat for y'all. There we go. There's the serum sodium study in the chat if you're so interested to take a look at it. Oh, everybody say hello to everybody. Brenda says, I'll see you next week. Bringing my daughter. It will be her birthday. Born on 8/8. It's my brother's birthday. He is born on 8/8 too. My brother will be in the building. He'll be at the meetup next week. His birthday is that day. So it'll be awesome. Birthdays. Birthday wangs. Everybody getting wings now. How many people, by show of hands, how many of you are going to be at my meetup next Saturday? Can I talk? I don't know if I can. Might have had a stroke. Don't know. Anyway, are you going to be? Are you going to be? Are you going to be? Are you going to be at my meetup next week? Let me know. Here it is. Keto Carnivore Meetup. PW3s, August the 8th at noon in Avon, Indiana. Indiana. There's more than corn in Indiana. We've got BW3s too. Are you going to be there? Are we going to hug? I think we're going to hug. We're going to hug. We're going to high five. We're going to do it. We need some wings. You see me drinking soda, mind your business, okay? If you see me drinking Diet Pepsi, mind your business. Okay? All right. Mind your business. All right. Oh. There we go. Even Evelyn is asking who is going to the Avon meetup. And it's been a while. It's been a while to see our good friend Evelyn. There she is. That's what she looks like in real life. That's her right there. And when she laughs, she looks like that. That's what she looks like in real life. And she wears that outfit too. She works hard on her eyebrows, I'm telling you. There we go. That's what she looks like. If you were ever curious, this is what Evelyn looks like. Woo! There's something wrong with me, folks. I'm telling you. There's something wrong with me. Oh, yes, indeed. And Barb says, I wish this amazing group was closer to the West Coast. No offense, Barb, I don't want to live on the West Coast. I mean, I like the weather, I'd like the ocean, I'd like all those things, but everything else that comes with it, I don't need. I don't need the traffic. I don't need the cost of living. I don't need all that. I already can barely afford to live. Yes. Andy says, Susan and I should be at the meetup. I am hoping to see you ladies. I'm hoping very much to see you ladies. Karen Harrington is in the house. Hello, Karen. Welcome. Good morning. How are you? Greetings and salutations. Pete's here too. Mr. Pete. Good morning, Dustin and fellow Keto Simple fans. We're just friends. We're just hanging out. The only fan I have is a box fan. I have a little bitty, little desk fan over here too, but yes. And he says, Susan is at home. This was a solo trip for me to reunite with my estranged son. It's been fun and interesting. Susan we'll see Idaho in a future trip. Okay. I think about Idaho and I just think about Napoleon Dynamite. Such a good movie. If you're not watching Napoleon Dynamite, what's wrong with you? It's dumb, but amazing. Ugh. Let's see. Rick says he's just trying to stay above ground. Well, I hope you stay above ground for a while, my friend. Sandy says, Rick, fantastic. You do a 6.5 hour live yesterday, Rick. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Brenda says, I did grapefruit diet at 13. It gave me ulcers. Like, what? What? No way. That's crazy. See, that's the thing is the diet culture is just one of those things. Like, it's entrenched. Like, diet culture is entrenched in this country. And it's always incorrect. Oh, Aaron's here. Hello, Aaron. How you doing, my friend? Good morning, Dustin and friends. It's Mr. Carnivore. And Rick said, honestly, I'd forgotten about healing humanity until you mentioned it, Dustin. I'm glad that they are doing what they're doing because that kind of massive undertaking is something that I do not have. Would I love to make a documentary like that? I don't even know if I would want to. I don't even know if I'd probably do it wrong and people would be mad. Oh my goodness. And Coach Angela is in the house. Hello, Angela. How are you doing? So very glad to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Rick says, it's so hard for me to imagine why anyone would need or want to lose weight. Well, and again, it just comes down to, we've had this conversation. It comes down to a lot of factors. It's like a perfect storm. People trying to make us healthy. And by doing so, with the best intentions, I can't believe that a majority of the people aren't here with the best intentions with all the grapefruit diet and this diet and that diet and Atkins and even the 8 countries study. What was it? The 7 countries? What was it? Let me see here. Ansel Keys. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Ansel Keys. Ansel Keys. I can't even. It's hard for me to even imagine that he didn't have at least some good intentions. But he got caught up with his own ego. I think that's his ego got in the way. But I think he had good intentions. He wanted to get to the root of the cause of the uptick in heart attacks. Right? Was it Eisenhower that had a heart attack that he freaked out over? But Eisenhower smoked like 4 packs of cigarettes a day and drank whiskey all day. And who knows what he ate. But instead of the whiskey and the cigarettes, they blamed the porterhouse or whatever cut of steak they were eating back then. I don't know. I think most of the world's atrocities are paved with good intentions, right? So I think there's so many people who want to do the right thing. People want people to be healthy, and we ended up where we are now. It's a very interesting set of circumstances that I think, and I think it's fascinating that we have you, Rick, in our community because you have lived a life that you have because you were being contrary. For all intents and purposes, right? You were doing what you were doing because you were told you shouldn't. So you were being contrary. But think about all the people who got sick because they were trying to do what they were told was the right thing to do. You went against the grain because you were like, well, let's see if I get a heart attack. Let's see what happens. I double dog dare you. And you're like, all right, I'm in. And everybody else is struggling, trying to do what they're told, trying to be the best patient, trying to be the best they can be. And it backfires. Horizon is here. Don't forget to like the live. Please show some love. 100%. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. And Sandy says, Kelly, congratulations on the win last night. I don't know what's going on, who won what. Oh, and Christy is here. Hello, Christy. So very glad to see you, my dear. How are you? Thank you for joining us. And Papa Carnivore, Mr. Pete says, Rick, you are unlike most people. Most of us, have struggled with being overweight, have tried for many years to lose weight and become healthy until we found carnivore, keto, and all these things. Yeah. And I'm planning to do a video to kind of go in depth on some things that I see and hear. Even at the Healing Humanities viewing during the Q&A, we heard things like, I started with keto, but, keto failed me because of the keto treats and the keto breads and the keto this and the keto that. But that's not keto. You can't blame keto for what the the food manufacturers did. Again, we trusted them. People who were doing keto like myself, I wasn't so much as trusting. But I mean, my channel in the early stages of my channel was very much, let's try these products. Let's see, what are they? Are they worth your time? Are they worth the money? Do they taste good? Are the ingredients worthwhile? And oftentimes, no. But the fact that keto in of itself gets such a major bad rap because of the fact that companies sold products with keto on the label, how do you blame keto for that? The same manufacturers that you demonize for every aspect of every other product on the market, but because they put keto on it, you blame keto for that and not the manufacturers. Because what is keto? It's carnivore with broccoli and cauliflower. Some cheese, a little more dairy. Single ingredient whole foods, primarily focusing or with a focus on protein intake, but with veggies, maybe some onions. That's what keto is. And keto gets the worst rap. The carnivores talk so much shit about keto. Now, do I consider myself keto? Not necessarily. I mean, yes, because the proper human diet is essentially, all of it is in the keto spectrum. Because if you're following a proper human diet, you're going to be producing ketones, able to utilize ketones. And at least most of the time in ketosis. And I think we get so hung up on arguing about semantics in this community. What's keto? What's carnivore? We're arguing over some of the stupidest shit. Like, we are arguing about things that truly are insignificant in the grand scheme of what we're trying to accomplish. But people have a tendency to want to be right. And a lot of times we get caught up in that and we end up trying to be more right than helpful. We think we're being helpful, but we're more concerned on us being right and telling you what you're doing wrong than being helpful. We can't do that because it doesn't help. And Mr. Brian Doyle is in the house. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Rain held off for a little while, so playing golf again, listening while I get my movement in. I love it. I love that you're out playing golf. I love that you found something. Well, I'm sure you've probably enjoyed it for a while, but you're out there being able to enjoy something that you love. I love that. And Pete says, if keto and carnivore are fad diets, I love those fads very, very much. And they're definitely for me. 100%. 100%. And Horizon says, I've been up, I've been down, over and out. Just like old Blue Eyes. And Dustin just said, come as you are. Yes, come as you are. Perfect outlook, no matter the story. Because no matter your origin story, no matter where you come from, where you are on this journey, it's important. It's valuable because there's going to be someone just like you out there looking for help. They're looking to find that hope. It was interesting to me yesterday because talking with Chris, he brought up a phrase. He called himself a keto hope dealer. And I actually used to be involved with a channel and a magazine that was KHD magazine, Keto Hope Dealers. It was beautiful. Let me see something here real quick. I apologize for needing to take a break here. But Joe, my friend Joe he was in charge. He and his wife were in charge of the Keto Hope Dealers. There was a magazine. There was a couple of issues that came out. They were glorious. I made some videos about them, and I was featured in a couple of the magazines. It's pretty incredible to know that I was in an actual magazine. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And I was sad that didn't work out for them. But I thought it was also interesting that Chris utilized that term yesterday. Uncle Charlie's in the house. How are you, Dustin? How much butter are we allowed to have on the keto carnivore diet? I mean, I don't know if allowed is the right word. I don't think allowed is the right way to look at it. I think it comes down to how much butter do you require? I'm trying to cut down on how much butter I'm utilizing. But not crazy. I mean, I'm still going to use it. I still use butter. I still use tallow and lard. I still use these things. Now, how much? I think it just really matters. Like, I think that it works well for satiety. But I don't know. I think that's kind of where an N=1 comes in. I don't know. I don't know how to tell somebody how much butter they should have. But I don't think there's a limit. I mean, everybody kind of has their limit, right? But I don't know. I don't have a formula. The formula. And Rick says, do you ever notice that the best YouTubers recommend other YouTubers to their viewers? I don't know. I don't know that I recommend other YouTubers to people, and people to YouTube, and YouTubers to other YouTubers, because I don't see YouTube with a famine mentality. I think there's enough views on YouTube every single day that if you're making compelling content that people will want to see, they will see it. It may take them a while to find it, But I think there's enough demand. And even if there wasn't, I don't care. If there's 2 views and I get one and someone else gets one, awesome. But my thing is that I don't understand how somebody would not want. Now, I mean, I don't want people coming into my chats and just blowing up my chats, sharing videos of, and all that, because it makes for a poor experience for people trying to chat with each other. Not because I'm worried about all that, but I think there's a level where it becomes kind of spammy, and I don't want spammy. But if there's a legitimate thing we're talking about and it correlates with what we're talking about, sure. And you're have a moderator share something for you. Have me share it, whatever. Oh, let's see. Horizons Crochet with a $5 super chat. Thank you so very much. Yes, come as you are. We all start to understand at different points. Trust is not blasting people. It's quite the opposite. Because blasting people doesn't get people in the door. And we're trying to help people. There's millions of people who need our help, whether they know it or not, whether they're willing to recognize it or willing to even acknowledge it. But we're here anyway. And thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And Pete says, I have found that carnivore and folks who keto are some of the most kind, understanding, accepting, and understanding people out there. Yeah. On the whole, I believe. I think on the whole, most people are that way. And Evelyn says, a person needs to know how much you care before they can care how much you know. Yeah, I believe put that on a shirt. Angel's rushing to get ready. Have a good one, my dear. Babysitting again. Going to be home around 11:30 last night. Oh, my goodness. Well, good luck. And Barb says, people can use multiple tools to lose weight. Becoming tolerant of their ideas will help you draw more people, right? Yeah, you're going to catch more flies with honey. Honey's not carnivore. Than you will with vinegar. Yes. Evelyn is celebrating her youngest's birthday today. She's 19 this Thursday. I love it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And Barb says, oh, Dustin, so sorry to hear about your dad's health. Yeah, it's rough. Thank you so much. Jeff is in the house, and I make new words whenever I so choose. Thanks for being here, my friend. Oh. Stacy is here. Good morning here for a bit. We started triple B&E for the 30-day trial yesterday. Adam's story convinced us for Brian's healing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm just going to rush through the chats because I think we're going to do a short one today. Just a short one today. Had a long live yesterday, a lot of stuff going on, some more stuff going on today. We're going to keep this brief today. We're already about an hour, and I appreciate you guys being here. I know that you guys like to be here a little longer than normal, but I do apologize. But today it's going to be a little shorter of a day, I think. Andy says her son has a custom license plate. MTFBWYA. I'm not even sure what that means. Woo! Tuber Chat's in the house. Hello, my friend. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all so much for being here. Just trying to get through these chats. Lisa's in the house. Good morning, Lisa. So very glad to see you. If you want to bring fudge, Evelyn, you bring whatever you want, my dear. Christy says she's officially homeschooling through state. Zach starts tomorrow. His first assignment is to upgrade his computer, so he's currently figuring that out. I'm very excited. I love it. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, just trying to get through this stuff. Carnivore Karen is in the house. Hello, hello. Good morning from Central Florida. Good morning, Miss Karen. So very glad to see you. I watched that micro interview. I thought it was fantastic. Though I must admit that I still think that even saying sugar is poison is a little bit of a oversimplification. Oh, just trying to get through these chats. Hello, everybody. Dan is here. I hope you have a wonderful time in Italy, my friend. A good, safe, happy, enjoyable vacation. Yes, Manda, the Carnivore Mukina. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct, but welcome. Thank you so very much. And Risa said I had a great interview with Chris. I love Chris. Chris is amazing. He's awesome to talk to. Amy is here. Good morning, Amy. I'm about ready to leave, though. We're only doing an hour today. Got a lot to do, and I'm tired, and it's been a long weekend. Oh, my goodness. Spam, spam, spam. I don't like spam. That's right. Angie's is here. Hello, Angie's. And Vicky is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Vicky. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All these amazing people are here with us today. Yes. Oh, and retired Rick is in the house. And Thomas is chatting again. All righty, everybody. I love each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for being here. Just an hour today. I will do longer next week. Pinky square. Anyway, I love your faces, and I'll see you on Tuesday.